heading out, heading back to Ohio, going to some family land, and I'm going to hike out and try and find a spot to build a shelter that I can go back to regularly and kind of add on to. Just have a good time out there, somewhere just easy to relax, somewhere it's not so far of a drive for me. So I said I was going to be doing a video soon after my last one, after the backpack video, and I never really got around to it. I was going to be going over all the trips I was going to be doing this year, and then all this Corona V stuff hit, and all my plans kind of went out the window, so I wasn't exactly sure what was going to be going down this year. So this trip originally was supposed to be me and my uncle going up north for our first spring trip of the year, which it's snowing, so it's not really spring anyway. But that was the plan. We were supposed to be going up north, and then that didn't work out. And then I had a buddy that was willing to go with me, and I had a plan set up with him to go up there too, to go to the same spot as well, and that just didn't work out either. I work in a skilled nursing facility, and a whole bunch of our patients ended up with the Corona V, and so I don't know, it didn't feel safe having him come up quite yet to go out and do something. I didn't want to get him sick, then him take it back down to Ohio and spread that around. The Corona V really messed up plans for this year so far. And then our next trip that we have planned, that we are definitely going to go on, if we have to, we'll just maintain our distance, is May 1st through the 4th or something like that. We are going on a canoe trip, or a kayak trip in our case, up to the Manistee National Forest, where we were supposed to go this trip, but we didn't end up going. So we're going to go up and do that, and it's going to be a good time. It's going to be our first real big kayak trip. It's about 30 miles or so, maybe a little more. It's hard to really tell when you plan it out on the map. But we're going to go up and start at the river up by Seton Creek, and then we're going to work our way down to Tippy Dam, and then we'll have to portage around the dam, and then we'll go back under the river and go a little bit farther down the river. So one of us is parking at the top and one of us is parking at the bottom, and we're just going to do it all on our own. It's going to be a good time. We plan to stop and camp a couple nights. It's going to be a 4-day trip. So it's going to be a really, really good time. I think it's going to be super fun. I can't wait for it. I'm so excited. It's going to be the first time I've done something like that, so it's going to be super, super cool. And then after that, things are kind of up in the air. We'll see if things kind of calm down with this virus thing, and if it does, then we should be good to go on a couple trips later this year. But then the other problem we run into is my wife is pregnant, which I know we've talked about as well. So then that causes a problem too, because as she gets farther along, we don't have anybody up here, so unless somebody could come stay with her, I really don't want to leave her by herself. So yeah, that's going to put a wrench in things. So I probably won't be doing as many camps as I had planned for this year. I wanted to do like 4, maybe, I was trying to do 5 at least. But my solution to that is when we come home on weekends to Ohio, to just go out on family land and do little solo one-nighters and that kind of thing, to kind of make up for it, since I can't do big trips up north or anything. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's just all kind of up in the air. You don't really know what's going to happen. So, like I said, I'm on my way to Ohio right now. It's about an hour and a half, 2-hour drive, probably more towards 2 where I'm going for this trip. So I'm going to go ahead and continue driving, and then I will pick you guys back up when we get there. Alright guys, we'll see you in a little bit. Alright, so we're in the woods. Made it back here, followed the trail back. So now we're going to head out and try to find a spot that's suitable to build our fort. We need quite a bit of room for it. I want to be able to hang my hammock up underneath the fort that we build in case I want to sleep on that when I come out here. But I'm also going to build up a bed so I can sleep on like my foam pad as well. So we're going to start trudging out through this. It's pretty thick stuff. Hopefully there's enough material of a good size to start building the fort. I wasn't really sure because we don't have like the small pines like they do up north. So it's going to be an adventure, but I need about 2 trees about 12 feet apart is ideal to have space to build the shelter and be able to fit my hammock under there as well. So let's see if we can find us a spot. Alright, so we're heading off into the thick stuff here. And we're going to try and make our way through this while videotaping, but it's very, very thick. So I can tell you it's not going to go well. But we gotta try and find something. I want it to be close to the water. Thick. Whew. Oh geez, felt tanked. And be close to the water, appropriate in size, and you know, have nice live trees. But I mean, look at this stuff. It's a lot thicker back here than I remember. I haven't been back here since I did some youth hunting. I think was last time I was out here. There's a tree stand somewhere, and that was where I tried to hunt in. I never ever really did get a deer. There's a little like game path here that I'm taking, so maybe we'll see some deer or something while we're out here, because this is definitely a game trail. It's like the stick to the face. It's like the perfect little path for deer to take. Meanwhile, a big old guy with a backpack on, not so much. Not so much. Oh, here we go. Open up a little bit. OMG. I cannot believe it's this thick. Oh look, there's a tree stand. I haven't seen that one. I don't know whose that one is. What I'm talking about is big and wooden. But we're going to try and follow these little trails here. See where they lead to. Try to stay more on the path. If you look up, you can see it thin out up there. That's the front of the woods. But I want to get further that way before I start to build. Because I know that somewhere that way there's a path that gets down pretty close to the water, and there's actually a spot I think you can cross the river as well this way. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've been out here, so we'll just have to find out. A little bit easier walking now that I'm on some actual trails. A little bit easier to get around and tape here some. So just gonna keep following these paths and try to find somewhere suitable. There's a lot of snow, a lot of water. So the trick is gonna be finding a spot that's nice and dry, other than obviously snow on the ground. And that's a suitable spot as far as trees go as well. I don't know if I'm going to get the shelter anywhere near finished today, so tonight's definitely going to probably be a hammock under the tarp night. So I'll have to throw that up as well. So I got to manage my time so I know I get everything done that I need to get done before dark sets in. Because it's just going to be a pain to set up in the dark. I got a headlamp, obviously, but you just never know. That would be a bad spot. I just feel not close enough to the river, not deep enough into the woods. So we'll keep looking here. But, oh, sweet Jesus. So this is not the river, obviously, but it looks like one. Big old tree fell down. And then this is just underwater. This is actually a trail. But obviously not going to be walking down that guy. But that's the way I wanted to go. I guess we'll head back and see what's the other way. This backpack, my new Kelty Red Wing 50, is super awesome. So much better than my last pack. And just super comfortable. Carries the weight really well. I don't feel it in my shoulders at all. Feels like it's all riding through my hips. So that's super awesome. I'm enjoying the walk. And I'm sort of out of breath, but it's because I'm just fat and out of shape right now. We can't get to the gym and we don't have anything at home to use, unfortunately. And then had this last week off of work because our patient caseload was getting low. Because I haven't been treating anybody with the Corona V because my wife is pregnant. So anybody that's been diagnosed, I've been saying no, which it's getting to the point our almost whole building is like that, unfortunately. So yeah, it's a scary thing. If my wife wasn't pregnant, I wouldn't be so worried because we're young and healthy and we don't see anybody anyway. But since she's pregnant, she's more vulnerable. So changes life. Having a kid is a lot more than just, having a kid. A lot that goes along with it. Everything that I'm ready for. I'm so excited. I can't get here fast enough. Due date is August 22nd, which everybody knows that never happens. But I don't know. I'm hoping it's on August 28th. That'd be super cool. That is my mom and her mom's birthday. And there's a tree stand. And it'd be cool if he was born in that way, I guess. I guess they probably don't want to share it with him, but I know they probably do, so they can be like, oh, he's on my birthday. But I think it'd be cool. Have 3 people, mom, grandma, and my child all on the same day. But we decided it is a boy. I don't know if I've put that on here yet. We are having a baby boy. We picked out a name. His name is going to be Cade Alexander. Cade Alexander Sharp, which is super exciting. And I just can't wait for him to be here. Can't wait for him to grow up. I get to take him out on these trips with me. It's going to be super awesome. But cannot come fast enough. But I hope all this clears up before he gets here. Obviously it's not going to be all gone, but hopefully we have a better grip on things. Good news is it'll be gone before he can remember things, so I'll be that old person. Oh, back in my day, we weren't even allowed to go out shopping if we were sick. And I got laid off work because it was so dangerous. I'm just clowning. It's going to be a while yet, and it's really, really sad. So I hope everybody's staying safe. I hope y'all are staying home as much as possible. Protect you and your family. And hopefully this whole thing blows over here soon. So I went back and took another path and ended up finding this old tree that I was talking about earlier, the big wooden one. This is the one I hunted out of when I was a youth. Like I said, never got anything, but I still remember coming out here. Looks like it hasn't been used in years. The whole bottom's gone. So let's walk up a little bit closer here and take a look at it. If I can get to it. Oh, sweet Jesus. Sweet Jesus. Sweet baby Jesus. Alright. Okay, there's the trail of the river. Take a look at this bad boy. Floor is gone. Only half the stairs. What are you supposed to do? Jump from there? Oh, geez. It's been a long time. Long time. This one doesn't quite get to the river either. There's a small trail there to the river. But we're still really high from the water. Like I said, it's been so long. Oh, there's the rest of the wood. I wonder if it was pulled down on purpose. or if that was to repair it and nobody ever did, or what. And I am now down to the water, and I'll show you where I was planning to go, where the little creek is. So it's hard to see. Way down there where it's running water, it's hard to see from here. I'll walk down that way. But it's definitely a lot of water. It's a little bit higher than usual because there's usually rock all the way across down there. So not quite like Michigan water. Muddy and murky. And this is less of a river and more of a creek. I don't know what it technically is considered. Alright, so I cleared a path up the hill here for me to be able to get here and get down this hill. It's very slick because it's all mud, so I'm being super careful. So I'm just kneeled down here on the edge next to a few trees. Just kneeled down, and I'm going to show you this little crossing that you used to be able to cross. But the water's a little high right now. I don't think it'd be very safe. But there's rocks here that stick out of the water that usually you can get across. Usually when I did it, I was on a four-wheeler or something. But it's not even possible to get down here with a four-wheeler anymore. So, yeah, I don't know. It's definitely out of the picture to go to the other side, so I gotta try and find something on this side. I'm walking along a deer trail here. You can see the deer prints, and they lead right up that way. Definitely not easier for them to fit than me. But I'm back out to the original trail here. Getting pretty wet. So, I think I'm going to follow this path here back to that one opening that I found, and I'm just going to call that camp because, like I said, I haven't eaten yet, and I'm going to actually get to start building and stuff, and I need to get my phone dried off. It's getting pretty wet and everything, so I'm going to see if I can find my way back to it. I think I gotta go that way, I'm not sure. Alright, so I made it back to that big clearing here, and found a couple trees I'm going to tie off to. I'm going to flip you guys around. So, I'm walking back here. I'm going to go back in here a little bit. The only bad part is there's like a slight game trail here, so animals do come through here. But I'm going to go from this tree over to that one. So, see if I can get them both in the shot here. The two bigger trees there's the ones I'm going between. And yeah, I would say that's more than enough distance to hang a hammock between. So, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Alright, now that I've found camp, I'm going to get started on clearing some of these trees out. A few of them, like this one here, I can actually use for, it's about to hit the snow. I can actually use for some shelter. And then smaller ones like these that are here are just going to get taken out and gotten rid of. And there's a whole bunch of dead stuff laying on the ground. I'm going to get cleared out. Going to try and remove some of the snow, get a fire pit going and all that. And I might have a snack here in a little bit. I'm getting kind of hungry. But I'm going to go ahead and start cutting some of these guys down. Whew. It's getting warm. Time to strip some layers off here. It's getting toasty. So this is gonna be my coldest camp that I've taken before. A, I've never been out when there's snow. And then B, this is supposed to be a spring trip, but it's supposed to get down into the 20s tonight. So the shelter's gonna be my primary thing. But with the way it's looking, I haven't eaten yet, need to eat and all that. I don't think that's going to happen tonight. There's no way I'm going to get it done. So I'm going to throw up the hammock and tarp and stuff. and get all my wood prepared. And I might start building a little bit today, but if for some reason, you know, it just isn't happening, I'll get started tomorrow. I got all day tomorrow to build, so I'm sure I'll be sleeping in it tomorrow if I don't get it done today. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna kind of go through what I got. Got my handy dandy knee pad here. It's just a foam pad. Throw that on the ground so my knees don't get wet while I kneel down here. And then I'll kind of go through what I have in my bag. Got my gloves, obviously, keep my hands warm. Everything is wet. I am soaked, completely soaked from walking through here. My bag is soaked. I'm hoping it kept my stuff inside pretty dry, but we're going to find out. One of these pockets, I have some trash bags, huge ones. Oh, no, not the book, not the book. So I brought two of these huge garbage bags to kind of use as a water protective layer to lay my stuff out on. So now that I got that laid out, I can go through and show you what I have. I have a book that somebody very special to me recommended. It's about two brothers who go out on like some kind of ski trip or something, and they end up in a lot of trouble, and they got to survive together. So I'm going to go ahead and try and give that a little bit of read. I'm hoping it dries because it did get a little wet. The pages are a little wet, so I'm hoping it dries out here. Set next to the fire. Got my Frog Togs rain jacket, food, phone, charger, socks, all that stuff. I got my battery packs for my camera, or should I say my phone. And then inside is where I wanted to really go. I got my dry bag of food. Got a little camp pillow. TP. Got my cook kit. My tarp. This is actually my underquilt. A bug net, which I don't think I'm going to need because it ended up being so cold. So this is just wasted space. My hammock as well. Then at the very bottom in here I got my sleeping bag, which is, as I was afraid, is wet. So I'm going to have to get that hanging up and drying out and maybe get close to the fire later. Like I said, everything got wet. And I got some odds and ends. I got my rope in the side pockets here, and then on this side I got some food, my water filter, my headlamp, and my water bottle was in my side pocket. Headlamp turned on. Little flashlight. First aid kit, just some Tylenol, Band-Aids, and some gauze. Don't really expect to need it. But I'm going to go ahead and get this stuff hung up to dry what needs to be dry. And then I'm going to probably have a little snack. I got some granola bars in there. I got some beef jerky, Cheez-Its, peanuts, some other nuts, fruit, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and try and get all this stuff set up to dry a little bit while I wait to get a fire going. And then once I get a fire going, I'll probably set it over next to dry next to that. But I'm going to have to build something to put it on because everything here is just wet. But that's my gear. Oh, so looking from a distance, I didn't really pay attention. The one chair I was planning to tie off to, this big one in the back here, is dead. So I'm going to try and drop it so that way I don't have to worry about it falling on me. It is pretty dead, so hopefully I can drop it. We'll see. We'll find out. So getting close to getting this big tree down. I'm tired. It's taking some work and some time. Oh, there's the side that I'm trying to go toward, and then it's just getting a little bit on this side as well. Oh, but man, I'm so exhausted I didn't even take the time to like mess with the tripod. My right arm is going to definitely be sore tomorrow. All I got is the hatchet, so it's a little more work than it needs to be. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and throw my tarp up. It's taking me a lot longer to cut that tree down than I thought. It is about down. It is still a lot more living on the inside than I thought it was. But I got it chopped enough now that I'm worried about it, so I got to take it down. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and finish that up a little bit later. But right now I got to get that tarp up, get my stuff under it so it doesn't get wet. So I'm going to go hang it up real quick. Got my string. Line is up. Alright, so what I do to throw up my ridge line for my tarp is really simple. That took me, I don't know, 3 minutes to do. So on this side, if you look here, look real close, I got a loop in there that I tied beforehand, so it was all ready to go. I just run around, I run the rope back through the loop, go back and forth till I cinch it down nice and tight on the tree. So that side's nice and tight. And then we walk down here to the other end. So we're at the other end. I did a half hitch with a toggle in there after I looped the line over and kind of wrenched it down to get it nice and tight, nice and firm. But yeah, then I just go with a simple half hitch with the toggle to keep it up. It's actually a double half hitch. So I did a half hitch and then I did the half hitch with the loop to put the toggle in. So now the ridgeline is nice and tight. But go and get the tarp thrown up, get my stuff underneath it. Ta-da! Tarp is all set up. Took me a little bit. Everything's pretty wet. I'm pretty wet. I'm hoping I can get a fire started here pretty soon, get stuff dried out a little bit. But I'm going to bring you over and show you what I did with the tarp. I'll show you a little bit from here actually. So I got the far end there raised up pretty high, and then this side right here I put a small angle. I'm letting all the water run down to this side because I'm going to try and set my fire up really close to the tarp on that side. So I can kind of try to dry some things, even though it's raining. You can't tell, but it is raining. So my boots are wet, my socks are wet, my sleeping bag is still a little wet. So I gotta try and get that stuff dry, and then later I'll have to hang up my hammock underneath the tarp. I'm still working on that big tree. I haven't done it since I started this, so it doesn't look like we're gonna get any of the fort built tonight, but we have all day tomorrow, so we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Alright, going to check out the tarp here. So we'll come to this side first. This side is the side that is a little raised, going up to this tree here. So that way the water runs down to this side. And then this is the side I'm talking about that I have it run into a point right there. So that way all the water runs off and is avoiding where I'm going to have my fire. And then just to tie to the ridgeline up here, I did some prusik knots so they cinch down and keep it from pinching and pulling back in. Feels so good to be able to sit down. Decided to throw the hammock up real quick, so that way when I do get a fire going I have somewhere to sit. Oh, I was not expecting to be so wet. Weathermen were actually right for once. Oh, but getting closer to being able to relax. got the tarp up, got the hammock up, got my stuff under here to dry. Need to do a fire, so I gotta get some wood for that. I gotta finish taking down this tree behind me, which hopefully I can do. It's gotta be close. I've worked about halfway through that sucker. Been literally hacking away at it for, I don't know, I'd say an hour and a half to 2 hours I've put into chopping that thing down. So it's almost there. Get a little bit closer and then I'll be able to push it over. That way I don't have to worry about it falling on me. I wasn't worried about the whole tree, which obviously I was right because it was solid enough at the bottom. But I was worried about the branches up top. So if I can get the whole thing down, I don't have to worry about it, which will be nice. But so much stuff got wet. I should have did this right away. I should have threw the hammock up with the tarp and just had that done from the start so I could put everything underneath of it. That was kind of stupid looking back, which I thought about too. I was like, man, I should really probably throw that up so stuff doesn't get wet, and I was right. I should have did it. So I'm just going to be cutting up tiny pieces to make a base for my fire. Get it up off the ground so it's not in the wet area. You want to have something to prop your wood up on, and then you want to be holding at the fulcrum point and then sewing on the other side of it. And that will keep the wood from pinching on your blade, making it hard to cut. My saw is just the folding saw from Ozark Trail, which is the Walmart brand. To be honest, it's actually cutting pretty good. I like it so far. This is the first time I've used it. The only problem I've ran into so far with it is they put the lock right here, and that's where I like to rest my thumb. So I gotta really concentrate on holding just the handle. But it folds up nice and small, makes it really easy to get around. So I'm finally going to eat. I don't even know what time it is anymore. I lost track of time. But, tried to get the fire going. That isn't working so well at all. Even with the lighter. Because everything is just so wet. And there's not really much good for starting a fire. Everything is so wet. And we don't have any kind of like birch trees or anything like that. Kind of kickstart it. Get it going really good. I didn't pack anything, so I have to get a fire started. I need to dry stuff out. My socks are soaked. If I can't get stuff dried out, I'm gonna have to pack and hike out. These are never good. All this work for nothing, but it is what it is. Some beef jerky. Comes this huge long pack. It's a pretty good deal. It's only $5. And it's pretty good. But it won't stop raining. Everything is soaked, and fortunately I'm going to call it for the weekend. I was planning to stay out here today, tonight, all day tomorrow night, and then leave sometime Sunday and work on the fort a little bit. But it is just, it's too wet here. Way too wet. Between the snow and all the rain that they got today, all my stuff is soaked. So I have to have a fire if I'm going to stay, and I can't get a fire going. I've even used a lighter and some TP and everything, and even with the TP to get it started, nothing would take off. Not even my shavings, not my curls, none of that. So fortunately, I'm gonna have to try and tear all this stuff down and get packed up to head out of here. Not really in a hurry or anything. Feet are a little cold. My shoes are soaked. My socks are soaked just from walking around out here. My pants are completely wet as well. And yeah, I'm disappointed. I was looking forward to a weekend away from work and all this crap going on and everything. And yeah, it just really sucks that it got cut super short. Good news is, put my hammock up, went super smooth. I've got that process down and really quick. I absolutely love the setup that I have here. Worked out really well and everything, and I just wish the fire could have started. But it is what it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and get packed up. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for spending your time with me. Like I said, I'm sorry I didn't get back to the fort building part of the video. I was really looking forward to it. Go over how to do a square lashing, how to make some tripods to help hold up your beams when you go to put it on. It was just going to be a simple lean-to shelter, and it was just going to be something I was going to leave up permanent that I could come back here to and spend nights in and whatnot. I still plan to do it. It just didn't get done this time. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you next time.